So today I'm going to try to blow up my gas tank. Well, maybe a better way to say that would be inflate my gas tank. So apparently what has happened is, due to a vacuum condition building up inside the gas tank, and this original gas tank, gas cap I should say, has one hole in the middle, and it has a seal around the edge that goes up against, there's a couple holes, well, it goes up against the rim of the gas tank, and there's a couple holes between that rim and the body of the tank. But at any rate, this thing allowed suction to build up, and the bladder inside the tank has collapsed, and I ran out of gas because my 17-gallon tank apparently now only holds about 8, and I thought I had a bad gas gauge because it never showed full, apparently because the float was getting restricted by the collapsed fuel tank. Now the replacement cap that I bought, because I was going to modify it, but I can't because it's got multiple holes here. But this one, actually, if I'd have had it, I don't think the tank would have collapsed. I'm going to put that back on the tank just so I don't get a bunch of fumes in here. But what I'm going to try to do, and I have to modify this top, but I'm going to try to get my air jet that's going to be attached to my compressor up against the top half of that hole, but I've got to somehow gain access through this in order to put this thing on and tighten it up and make it airtight. And then hopefully by pumping air into that, I can inflate that bladder, which apparently is semi-flexible. It doesn't flex easy enough that just putting gas in it would cause it to re-expand. But I'm hoping that by putting this on and making the tank airtight and being able to access the top of that hole with my air jet, I'll be able to pump air into it. Hopefully I'll be able to expand it. So first thing I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to take this part of the gas cap off. It appears to be just crimped on there, and hopefully I can take that off, this part. Hopefully I can take that off and put this part on from here down, and then access that hole, pump air into it to expand it, inflate it, blow it up. So there you have the gas cap innards. Still have a seal to make it airtight, except for that, and that's where I'm going to put my air gun and see if I can blow the tank up. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this old one. I shouldn't say old, I should say new, because that is my new gas tank going forward. Okay. I hope that there's enough room to get the air gun down in there without removing that cap. I may have to remove the cap. because it doesn't seem like it's quite vertical. Well, I don't think it's going to be the easiest thing in the world to hold this on, but I'm going to try it. I don't have the air on yet. I'm just fitting it here. And I'm hoping that the tank makes some kind of a noise as it pops out, blows up, inflates, whatever you want to call it. Okay, the compressor's full. I've got my hose set up. Hopefully I can hold it on there. I lost my rubber piece off there. That must be a good thing. I hear a pop. So I actually heard two pops, and then the compressor came on, which meant I need to let the air tank refill. I'm going to try to take that off and see if I can look inside and see how much, if any, progress I made, but I did hear it pop twice. So I tried looking down there with that scope, and I really couldn't tell anything. I'm going to try a different gun here. Hopefully I can get a better seal around the place where it's connected. Let's see if we can do some more popping. So that didn't work much better because there's an opening in it, and the air was coming out of it, and I couldn't hold it with just my fingers. I'm going to try with the original one again, just see if that does anything. But unfortunately, I can't tell how much of that popped out. I almost think that if I drill that hole bigger, this nozzle would fit inside it and it would give me a better seal, but I'll be cautious about how far I modify it because I don't want to get to a point of no return. I didn't hear any more popping. I had a good seal on it for a good portion of the time. I'm a little bit, I had a lot of air in it. A little bit concerned about whether or not I got it all the way out. I'm going to have to try and do some more looking and see what I can see, if anything. So here's where we stand. I tried to get the scope down in there, and it was very difficult to tell anything. I couldn't see any obvious signs that it was dented in, but I also couldn't see for sure that it was completely expanded. So I think where I am now, I know that my gas gauge wasn't reading correctly, so I will probably put some gas in it. I have a 6-gallon can in the shed. I'll put that in and I'll go to a gas station, see how many more gallons it takes. And if my total is somewhere up around 17, and if my gas gauge is registering full, I think I can call that a win. Unfortunately, with that method of trying it out, I have to fill the gas tank again, and if I fill the gas tank and I have to remove it, that's going to be a problem until I get it empty or near empty. And I don't want to have another tow. So in the meantime, I'm going to wrap it up for today, but I also have to replace my spark plug wires because somewhere along the line, one of the spark plug wires that I carefully routed to avoid the headers came in contact with a header, and it burnt it all up. So I have a new set of spark plug wires that I'm going to put in before I dump any gas in here, and maybe I'll do some thinking about what went on here today. One of the things I thought while I was putting away the compressor stuff is that just because I only heard 2 pops, that doesn't mean that it couldn't have been inflating all along, but not being resistant enough so that it needed to pop to come out. So maybe those 2 pops were, you know, the final pops to get it back out to where it belongs, but maybe they weren't. So I'm going to think on that for a couple days, but I think that's where I am. I'll put this spark plug wires on and try and put some gas in it. First thing is to see if it starts, because I thought it was my sniper unit that was on the fritz again, but when I found out that I had no gas in the tank, I'm hopeful that that is not the problem. So that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching.